Hello guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we are back working on the BMW 130i, obviously with the N52 engine, and we're going to be swapping out the oil filter housing gaskets. Now I say gaskets because there is in fact two, so there is the one for the oil filter housing itself, which is this one just here. Then there is the other one for the oil cooler as well. Now I've actually been sent these two gaskets out from Fixed Parts Online. They are a massive supplier here in Europe. They ship worldwide and they actually supply a genuine BMW as well as, you know, the likes of Febby Bilstein and a few other brands as well. So it's definitely worth checking them out. They will pretty much beat the price of any dealership. So I will leave a link for them down in the description box below. But yeah, I think without further ado, we'll get outside and let's get working on the car. Okay, so to start off then, I'm actually just going to show you where the oil filter housing is located on this engine. So it's just here, right in front of the intake manifold. This is the oil filter housing here, and then underneath this black cover is the oil cooler. Obviously we're going to be replacing both gaskets today. One runs in between the cooler and the oil filter housing, and then the other one runs in between the oil filter housing and the engine itself. Now the first thing I'm going to do, just to give me a little bit of better access, is actually just remove this intake here and then the airbox itself, and it will actually just give me a lot better access to get onto some of the bolts. Okay, so first of all there, I'm just going to remove the front intake section, just held in by 4 T20 screws. And then I'm going to remove the two 10mm bolts that hold the airbox in. And now I'm just going to undo the Jubilee clip on the intake pipe that connects that to the airbox. And of course, unplug the mass airflow sensor. There we go. And now the entire air intake should come out in one piece with any luck. That came out in two pieces, but it still all came out together. And now we pretty much have everything removed that we need to gain access to the oil filter housing itself. We can obviously get at it from underneath, from the front and from the side to access all of the bolts. Now what I'm actually going to do next, now it's not necessary to do so, but it is a good idea, especially if you want to keep your original drive belt. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove it just to stop any leaking oil and coolant dripping down onto it and potentially damaging it. So if you do intend on using your original drive belt after replacing the gaskets on the oil filter housing, it's good practice to remove it. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do now. All I need to do is locate the automatic tensioner and then put a socket on it, take the tension off, and then the belt should slide off. And once you've located the automatic tensioner, all you need to do is use a Torx 60 in the Torx slot in it, and then turn it clockwise and it will take the tension off from the belt. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. And then you can just slip the belt off. And there we go then, that's the drive belt removed. As you can see, it's actually still in pretty good condition, so this would be good for a few more thousand miles. I am actually going to be replacing it anyway today at some point, along with the rest of the drive belt kit. But like I said, if you do want to keep this running for, you know, a good few thousand more miles, it's a good idea to remove it, just to save you dripping any oil on this and potentially damaging it. Now then, what I'm going to do, and it's actually something that's pretty important if you want to create as little mess as possible, and that's actually just to loosen off the oil filter housing cap. So I actually have the correct size socket for it that just sits on it nicely. So what I'm going to do is just crack this loose. I'm not going to completely remove it, but the idea is to just try and get any of the oil in the filter housing just to run back down into the engine and drain into the sump. But yeah, that's good enough. And while the oil drains back into the sump, then what I'm going to do is just locate all of the bolts, and I'm going to remove this cover here. You may or may not have this in place. It just covers the oil cooler, and it's just held in by 3 bolts, one there, and then one underneath. And now what I'm going to do is loosen off the 3 bolts for the oil cooler. They take a E12 socket. Let's loosen them off. They shouldn't be mega tight. Now I am expecting some oil and coolant to drip down here, so I actually have some cardboard and some paper towels, but now that they are all cracked loose, just need to go ahead and remove them completely. And there we are, that's all 3 bolts removed. Now all we need to do is prise the cooler off of the filter housing itself. This is where you may have the oil and coolant run down. Yeah, I can already see some oil running down. Let's just go for it now. There we are. Yeah, I can see exactly where it's been leaking from. And now what I'm actually going to do is just put the oil cooler over to one side, because you don't need that for now. We need to work on getting the oil filter housing itself removed, and then obviously we can reassemble, clean everything down, and reattach the oil cooler. And now what we need to do is locate the bolts for the oil filter housing itself. There is 3 in total. There's one underneath, there's one there, covered in a lot of oil. There is one actually on the underside of the intake manifold, and then there is the easiest one to remove, just this one here on the top. Now we actually have a sensor here. This is the oil pressure sensor, so we just need to remove the electrical connector for it. And then once that's out of the way, we can proceed and start removing the 3 bolts. Okay then, so you can see I've actually went ahead and removed another coolant hose. It's this one just here. It sits underneath the oil filter housing itself. It's just held in by 2 10mm bolts. Once you remove that, you can then actually get good access to get a E10 socket on to the bolt, this one here. If you try to do it with this in place, you can attempt to get on it with a regular wrench, but you do run the risk of rounding the bolt, so I'd rather get a proper size socket on there. Obviously there's one on the top, and then there's one down on the underside of the intake manifold. Okay, then so here is the first bolt removed, and now I'm going to show you exactly how to remove the bolt on the underside of the intake manifold. This is the setup that I'm working with. So I have a 3/8 inch ratchet to a 3/8 to 1/4 inch extension, then I have a 1/4 inch extension to a universal joint, and then to a 8mm socket, and then this is just enough to fit through the gap of the intake manifold and get onto the bolt. There we go, that's the bolt removed then. And now the only bolt left is the easiest one, so the one on top. That's that one removed as well. And now I'm just going to screw the oil filter housing cap back on and just prepare some more paper towels. And then I'm just going to lift it away from the engine. There we go. Again, we're going to have some oil dripping down. Not too much though, obviously we've drained the majority of it back down into the engine. You can just leave that to sit. Oh, I can already feel these feel way too hard and brittle for a gasket. Okay, it's the oil cooler gasket removed. And now it's the actual oil filter housing gasket itself, which is the big one. Yeah, this does not feel nice at all. There we go, see the gasket removed. Now comes the painstaking process of getting everything cleaned up. But I need to be very careful. I don't want to get any of this crap down inside here, because it could potentially block up oil galleyways, so I need to be very careful. Right, a lot of time and patience I'm gonna have to put into this. Look at that, lovely. Okay then, so I've actually went a step further and completely removed the oil filter housing from the car, because it's just going to be way too hard to try and get in there, and I want to bring this up to like new. I want to give it a real good clean up, and yeah, it's just much easier doing it when it's not on the car, and obviously I haven't got to worry about degreaser running down the oilways. You know, I can just you know, give it a real good clean. So what I've done is remove the oil filter and the oil filter cap. I'll put that over to one side, and now I can move on to really getting this thing nice and clean. Okay then, so after some time spent cleaning, as you can see, the mating surface for the oil filter housing looks a lot better now. I've gave the general area a good clean up as well. There is a lot of oil still down there, but I'll tackle that when I get on to doing the drive bout kit. As you can see, I've cleaned up the oil cooler as well, and of course the main thing that I've cleaned is the oil filter housing itself. This thing was absolutely covered in debris and oil, but it's much better now, much nicer, and all that's left to do is obviously install the new gaskets. And now it's time to install our new genuine BMW gaskets. Very easy to do. Obviously there's one for the oil cooler that just slots in nice and easy, and then obviously we have the main one, the oil filter housing gasket, that just slots in easy as well. And now it's time to reinstall the oil filter housing. First thing I'm going to do is actually install the coolant pipe back on. There we go. Push the clip down. That's that securely on. And now just got to line up the filter housing with the bolt holes. And the longest one is for the top. And the small one is for the hole at the bottom. And obviously we have the medium-sized bolt that is for the hole underneath the intake manifold. And once you've got all of the bolts in, you just want to make sure that they are all nipped up nice and tight. But don't rush, don't do one bolt first, do them all evenly so they are, you know, so the torque is distributed between the three bolts. You don't want the gasket to be squashed on any corner, so make sure you just go around and do them all bit by bit. And then obviously once they're all nice and snug, you can then torque all three of them down to 22 Newton meters. There we go, that's the back one torqued up. That's the bottom one done. And that's the top one done. And then what I'm going to do is plug the oil pressure sensor back in. And then I can get the oil cooler lined up again. There's actually a dowel that it sits on, so you can't sit this crooked. I'm just going to thread the three bolts in by hand. And now I'm going to torque them down to 22 Newton meters as well. It's not very tight at all. There we go. And now I'm going to reinstall this coolant pipe and secure it in place with the two 10mm bolts. And with those two 10mm bolts reinstalled, that's that pipe refitted. And now it's time to reinstall the oil filter and oil filter cap. Now you could say now would be the perfect opportunity to change the oil filter along with the oil as well, but I've actually changed it less than 1,000 miles ago, so obviously the oil filter is still good, so I'm just going to go ahead and reinstall that back into the housing. Then the oil filter cap itself gets torqued down to 25 Newton meters. There we go. And now I can reinstall the oil cooler cover. And then obviously if you did remove the drive belt like we did in our case, you will obviously need to reinstall it. Very easy to do. Again, just use the automatic tensioner just to give you that much more play, and then obviously slot it over the pulleys in the sequence that it came off. And then it's just a case of reinstalling the front intake section along with the airbox, plugging the mass airflow sensor back in, and it's pretty much job done then. And just like that, that is everything put back together and a job done. Oh, almost forgot, because obviously we've lost some coolant along with some oil as well. You will obviously need to top up your oil according to your electronic dipstick along with your coolant as well. Okay, so I've topped it up with oil and coolant. I'm actually just going to fire it up now, make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay then, so that is another job done on the BMW 130i, another N52 job done. I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. I hope it's been, you know, easy enough to follow along. Of course, let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of it. Please give this video a like, and if you are interested in the part numbers for the two gaskets that I installed today, this is the part numbers right here. Hopefully you can see them. And obviously if you do want to check out fixed parts online, there will be a link in the description box below. So yeah, go ahead and check them out, and if you want to order yourself these two gaskets, go ahead and do so. But yeah, like I said, I want to thank all of you for watching. Please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one.